Okay, for your French dip, you are going to be using a brisket. And then as you can see here, this brisket here is the point. You have two parts of a brisket. There's the point and then there's the flat. You guys will actually be using the flat. I'm using the point on this one. And basically what you want to do is, if you do this at home, you season it really good with salt, pepper, garlic, maybe some onion powder. Any of those will work. And then you want to season it aggressively, because what you're going to do is you're going to sear it into the pan, and then you're going to create all that beautiful flavor from that seasoning with the fond, which is going to make your jus. You can also do this French dip with either a bottom round or a top round. The only difference is, if you do a bottom round or a top round, you have to slice it thin. The brisket, we're going to actually braise it so it's really tender, so you can actually cut your portions a lot thicker. Okay, for this particular cut here, we are going to slice this, or cut it in half. You could leave it you can leave it whole if you want, but I'm gonna put it in a pan so that I can get it, both pieces fit in there. So I'm just gonna cut right in half. If you want to cut it in quarters, you can. And take a look. And again, this is actually a very tough piece of meat that you have to braise. And then basically by cutting it in half, we're actually cutting down the cooking time when we braise it. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to get your pan smoking hot. Okay. You'll add some oil to your pan. Very little, not too much. Make sure you shift it over so all the oil gets distributed throughout the whole pan. So you can see it's nice and smoking hot. We're going to lay one of the pieces down, fat side down, and then we'll lay the other one down. Try to get it all in there. What we want to do is just create a nice good brown on that meat. Remember, we season it aggressively. So what we get from the bottom of the pan is going to be the flavor for the jus, which is the sauce that you're going to dip it in. So just let it sit. Okay, after about 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to go ahead and turn it around, or turn it over, I should say. And you're looking for a nice, beautiful color like that. There you go, you got that nice brown color. Turn it around on the other side. Adjust it as needed. Make sure you get it all in there. We're going to brown the other side. Okay, after about another 2 or 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, go ahead and cook the bottom. See, now you're creating all this fond on the bottom, and this is what's going to give you the flavor. So we'll add a little water. And remember, we seasoned this really aggressively, so some of those salt, pepper, garlic bits are starting to intensify. We got a nice good brown color. So the next thing you're going to do is add some water. You could actually remove it if you want, or if you want, whatever you do, you got to make sure you scrape it all off. Okay, so that's what we'll do next. I'm going to go ahead and remove this brisket, and then we'll scrape off all the little bits. Okay, so we're going to add some water. And then we're going to scrape off all the excess bits of, so it's nice and clean. You can adjust the salt and pepper after you're done, or you can do it now. But see how it forms out that nice brown color? That's what you're looking for. Your broth will only be as good as how well you season your meat. You can still make adjustments after it's done, but you want to get all that flavor in there. From here, you'll be able to either place it back into your pot, and then you cover it up, and then you'll braise it for 4 hours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it in a pressure cooker, and we'll braise it for 2 hours. It'll take half that time. So that's what we're going to do. So again, you have options. You could actually put it into the oven, covered, for 4 hours, or you could put it in a pressure cooker for 2 hours. We'll use the same broth. Okay, so we'll go ahead and place this meat into the pressure cooker, like so. We'll place that nice, beautiful broth, place lid on it. Set it for 2 hours. Okay, after it's done, if you do have a pressure cooker and you want to use it, there's a little technique you could use. Once it's done, go ahead and release pressure. Place a towel over it, and that'll kind of eliminate some of the steam. That's a nice little technique. All right, now you're going to release it. And this is what it'll look like. So you have this nice broth. It's very tender, fall off the bone tender, as you can see. And you can see it's really tender. You can put a fork in it, it's nice and tender, easily. Then we're going to go ahead and slice it. What's going to happen with you guys, yours is going to be cold. You're going to slice it and place it into that broth. Okay, you're going to reheat the broth, place it in there, and then you'll reheat it. All right, for the assembly of the sandwich, you've got your brisket. It is very tender. So if you see the grain going this way, you're going to cut it against. Not that it really matters, but it's tender anyway, but it'll be a little bit more tender. It won't be as stringy. So what we're doing here is I'm just cutting about 4 ounces. We'll place this right into the bun. I've got a toasted bun with some provolone here. Then we'll add a little lettuce on top with a little tomato. And again, you choose what you want. We'll add some onion, a little onion on the top. And some pepperoncinis. And then you're going to add some Italian vinaigrette right on top. Parmesan to finish it up. Then you'll go ahead and put it together. Make sure you smash that down. Slice it on a bias, place it in a basket, and then I also have a jus, so if you guys want to add some of that jus to it, I've got one of these little strainer here. Just add your juice to it. Hit it with some French fries. I like to add a little feta cheese on mine. And here you go. And this is your beef grinder sandwich.